Epilepsy is one of the most prevalent serious neurological conditions. Around 1 in every 100 people in the UK live with epilepsy, but current drug therapies don't work for everyone. 30% of people are living with uncontrolled seizures, and despite the advances in research, this figure hasn't changed in decades. Shockingly, there are still 21 epilepsy-related deaths a week. We know that by radically advancing research, we have the potential to make a life-changing difference for people living with epilepsy. But what's holding us back? We have a fragmented research ecosystem, and epilepsy simply hasn't been a burning platform for policymakers. This has resulted in chronic underinvestment. So, what can be done to bring about the change that is so urgently needed? The Epilepsy Research Institute will have a unique capability to convene, coordinate, and fund research. The Institute will drive strategic collaborations and investment, and build the capacity of the epilepsy research ecosystem. The Institute will work in partnership with academia, industry, funders, and patient organisations. The Institute will be the enabler, the connector, the hub. In the UK, we have a track record of world-leading research and innovation. So let's not be timid or constrained by our history. Let's not be daunted by the challenge or allow institutional silos. Let's create a vibrant hub where we are ambitious, where we can focus on the opportunities ahead and rise to the challenge. Let's embrace change and work collaboratively as the Epilepsy Research Institute, your Epilepsy Research Institute. Together, we will radically advance research into epilepsy.
Well, hello. I'm really sorry I can't be with you today. I'm in Japan for the G7 Science Ministers Summit, and I wanted to join you and to give a very strong message of support for this Epilepsy Research Institute launch. It's a wonderful day, and it gives me particular pleasure, firstly, as former Minister for Life Science, having seen this community and know how important it is and how urgent it is that we pull together and support the multidisciplinary research that's so key. But also as Minister of State at the new Department of Science, Innovation and Technology, here to drive UK leadership across different disciplines. Thirdly, for me, this is also personal. I had a very, very dear childhood friend, Alex, who was diagnosed with epilepsy aged 17 and went through the most appalling few years of surgery and life-changing and debilitating agony that this disease can cause. So I wanted to share 3 particular messages with you today. Firstly, the scale of this condition here in the UK and around the world. 21 epilepsy-related deaths every week in the UK. That is trauma across families and communities, silent suffering that isn't visible but needs to be understood. 62% don't know the cause of their epilepsy diagnosis, and 35% of people aren't able to control their seizures with medication. And think of all the people around the world in less developed countries who have no idea of the condition that they are suffering from. This is a global issue, and it's one that at the G7 this week and the G20 in the summer, as part of our leadership on the neurosciences and insisting that the world has got to come together and tackle these very difficult rare diseases, in particular the neurological conditions, by sharing data, helping our researchers to collaborate better. This is an absolutely core global issue. Second point, the role of our charities. In so many of the frontier elements of life science where there aren't yet proper diagnoses, there aren't yet proper treatments, it is the patients, the ever so and always patient patients, those who actually live with these conditions and their loved ones who care for them, who are on the front line. And I want to pay tribute to the work of Epilepsy Research UK and all of those other charities and disease organisations, patient groups that are contributing to this mission and to this institute today. And I just extend my thanks and pay tribute to the work of Maxine and Matthew, Tony, and all of you there today. Your work is absolutely foundational, not just to the research that's required, but also to making sure that the patient voice, patient consent, patient lived experience is at the heart of generating both those research insights and treatments, but also the policy framework required to adopt and implement them. If we're really going to unlock the power of the NHS as a research engine, I think the charities are going to have an absolutely key role in stepping in and advocating for patients, as is going on in so many different disease areas. And the third point I want to make is this: in so many of our rare diseases, our difficult, impossible to treat cancers, and particularly in epilepsy, it is completely clear that we're going to make progress not by just some extraordinary discovery one afternoon in a laboratory, but by incremental aggregation of different disciplines, multidisciplinary working, partnerships. Neurology, the final frontier of human biology, is going to require a combination of really deep biological science, of neural pathway mapping, AI, a whole raft of different technologies coming together. And that will require our top labs, research institutes around the world to work together. And that's why I'm putting neurology, neuroscience down at the G7 as a key issue where we in the UK need to see and want to help see more global collaboration. Many, many congratulations on getting to this point. My final message is this: we need more institutes in the UK ecosystem driven by patients, researchers, people impatient to make faster progress. Over the 3 years of this comprehensive spending review, we're investing over 9 billion in life science research across the whole of our ecosystem, from the deep biological research in the MRC through UKRI, Innovate UK, the National Institute for Health Research, and the NHS. And that's alongside the work of charities and industry. We need to make sure that that money makes a difference for the patients, families and loved ones who are suffering from this condition, and that's what this new institute is all about. All power to your elbow, and I look forward to coming and visiting and seeing the great work you're doing and continue to support you. Thank you for all that you do.